I'm going to show you a cheaper and easier way to practice wire wrapping. This is aluminium wire. It is a lot softer than the copper wire. It is florist wire. You can buy it on Amazon or eBay, and it is a lot cheaper and you get much more for your money. So there's plenty here to practice wire wrapping rocks. The wire that we use for the jewelry is copper silver plated wire, which is a lot tougher. You get less for your money, and for those who are struggling practicing with the other wire, this wire is perfect. So choose a rock that you would like to practice wire wrapping with, and I will begin wire wrapping this unicorn rock with some aluminium wire. So take about 1 meter of wire, cut off your length, find the center by putting the two ends together. You find the center, and with your round nosed pliers make a hoop in the center. So we just take the wire and just wrap it around the biggest end of your round nosed pliers. This wire is so much softer to work with. And for those who are struggling with the tougher wire, it is a good starting point to get used to wire wrapping rocks and crystals. And it's a lot cheaper, so you won't be wasting a lot of money in just practicing. So then when you've got your loop in the center, you can place the rock onto the wire, so the wire is flat on the back of the rock, and bring your two wires up. I'm going to bring the two wires up from the bottom and wrap those two wires around the bottom of the hoop. And then from here I'm going to start to design my wire wrapping. So you can bring your wires, one from the back and one over the front, and you can start to wrap the wires around each other and start to do a spiral. You will find this wire much easier to work with. It's a lot softer. You can maneuver it and you can practice with different designs. So after I've done this spiral and I'm happy with it, I'm going to bring one wire around the back and across the front, and then the other wire I'm going to go into the opposite direction and bring it around the back and bring them both around the back, and I'm going to connect them together with a little twist at the back. And then I'll bring both wires up to the top of the back of the crystal, and then I'm just going to go in and tighten these wires by crimping the wire with my flat nosed pliers. And this also creates a nice little design on the wires. You will find aluminium wire, because it's a lot softer, you feel as though it's not tight enough, and so by doing this it just tightens the wires onto the crystal. You can do this as many times as you want and create different designs. So I'm just tweaking all of the wires on the crystal. And just making sure the wire and the crystal are going to stay together and that it's not going to pop out of the wire. So when I'm happy with crimping the wire and tightening it up around the crystal, I will then go on to wrap the wires around the hoop, and we're scarfing the hoop, so we're covering some of the hoop, and then when we've made a kind of little bowl, just wrap this round some more. And aluminium is not as strong as the copper, so the hoop will be a little bit floppy. So just straighten it up, and then we'll cut the ends off and just leave yourself enough of the ends to pop inside the loop and inside the bowl effect that you've made. And so we just pop the ends inside there. You will find this a lot easier than practicing with the tougher wire, and it just gets you, it just gives you a feeling of what it's like to be able to wire wrap successfully. If you make mistakes, don't worry, you can straighten this wire, and by straightening it with wire straighteners, it will become tougher. But it's a good, cheap enough wire to practice with. So I'll just crank a few more of these wires to tighten it up. I will also pop the links into the description of the wire that I'm using and all of the tools that I'm using. If you get yourself some jump rings, try and match the colour to the colour of the wire you're using. These are slightly lighter than the wire I'm using, but just to show you how to pop the jump rings on. So I take 3 jump rings and slide the jump rings open sideways and then push them back together. Pop your pendant onto the jump ring, and do that with all 3 jump rings. So you can use your pliers or you can use your fingers to open the jump rings. It depends how soft they are. So we just make sure the jump rings are joined back together securely. And the last one, just open it sideways. Don't pull it apart, just pull it sideways and then squeeze them back together. And then I buy the necklace thongs. That you can also purchase them from Amazon or eBay. And I will pop the end of the thong, the necklace thong, through all 3 of the hoops at the top. So this is a waxed cotton necklace thong with a chain and a lobster claw at the end. So these come already made, and you just slide the chain of the cord through all 3 hoops, join the end together, and then you have your necklace. So I hope that was helpful. I'll drop all the links into the description. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.